are they talking about?
Most often, they are now talking about what are called deep learning systems. So these are systems that train on loads of data, and you have software that can statistically compute the patterns in that data, and then that model is used to then make decisions or generate text or make predictions. So most modern day AI systems built by companies like Meta, by OpenAI, by Google are now these deep learning systems.
So deep learning is the same as machine learning?
It
Is the
is
same as neural networks?
deep learning
Are
is
these all
a
synonyms?
deep learning is a subcategory of machine learning. Machine learning refers to a specific branch of AI where you build software that calculates patterns in data. Deep learning is when you're specifically using neural networks to calculate those patterns. So you have what I call one of the founding fathers of AI used to call AI a suitcase word. So because you can put whatever you want in the suitcase and suddenly AI means something different. So we have this suitcase word of AI, and then under that, any data-driven AI techniques are called machine learning, and then any neural network data-driven techniques are called deep learning. So it's the smallest circle within this broader suitcase word.
So deep learning and neural networks are kind of interchangeable.
Not exactly, in the sense that neural networks are referring to a piece of software and deep learning is referring to the process that the software is doing.
Right.
Yeah.
Do you get upset when politicians, so in this country we have a prime minister called Keir Starmer, and they say, we think the NHS can save, 20% by, using AI applications.
Right.
Do you sort of think, my good, like these people have no idea what they're talking about because that is such an expansive term. It can't really, its political convenience is precisely, it doesn't mean anything.
It does frustrate me a little bit. So I often use the analogy that AI is like the word transportation. I mean, if transportation can refer to bicycles or rockets or self-driving cars or gas guzzling trucks, like they're all different modes of transportation, serve different purposes, different cost-benefit analyses. And you would never have a politician say, we need more transportation to mitigate climate change. You would be like, what kind of transport?
Yeah.
Like, what are
Trump
you talking
right?
about? Well, yeah. We need more transportation to stimulate the economy. I mean, maybe in that case, it's like, it's just, yeah, like there is a vagueness around the AI discussion that is really unproductive. And I think a lot of that leads to confusion where people think AI equals one thing and AI equals progress. And so we should just have all of it. But actually, if we were to use the transportation analogy, like having more bicycles, having more public transit sounds great. But if someone were actually referring to just like using rockets to commute from, Dublin to London, and we were like, everyone should get a rocket now, like that's going to bring us more progress, you would be like, what are you talking about? And that's effectively what these companies are doing with artificial general intelligence.
When you're giving people tools for free, with regards to generative AI, to just generate stupid images of nonsense. That's kind of what we're doing, right? I presume you would take that analogy to that level. It's like saying, let's use a rocket to get from Dublin to London to Paris.
Yeah, exactly. Like it's not fit for the task. And the extraordinary amount of environmental costs for flying that rocket when you could have flown a much more efficient plane to do the same thing is like, what are you doing? And that's one of the things that people don't really realize about artificial or about generative AI is that the resource consumption required to develop these models and also use these models is quite extraordinary. And oftentimes people are using them for tasks that could be achieved with highly efficient, different AI techniques. But because we use the sweeping term AI to mean